and I don't want to miss it. And so we're recording. And so if you're in the second service, you're getting me on recording. And if you're online, you guys get me on recording every time. Or it's live, but it just looks like it's recorded. And we're so glad that you guys are here, but we want you guys to get connected. So check out the Connect Center on your way out the door. And there'll be more music to come after I'm done. And I wanted to let you guys know about this convoy thing. Tina and I were in India in March, in the beginning of March. And I don't know about you, but I kind of forget, that people are out there every day and they don't eat. Because every day here I eat, and I see people eating every day. And I forget that, and it helps me so much when I go someplace like the dump in India that we went to, and that's where they live. And the little children, they collect plastic all day long with their family, and they try to make enough money to buy one meal by the end of the day. That's how they live. And being there, again, meant, you know what, we've got to do more with Convoy. And so we went from India, came home for a week, and then went to Convoy. And Convoy's feeding over 500,000 kids a day, every day, in 33 countries around the world. And they do it for $10 a kid for a month. And you're like, oh, that's not possible because all these other places, it's so much more money. Well, other places will individualize it. They'll say, you're going to sponsor Matt, you're going to get a letter from Matt, and you're going to get a picture from Matt, and you're going to get more personalized stuff. Convoy thinks that's fine. I don't think it's bad, but they can feed them for 10. So that's what they do. And the goal is 1 million kids. And because they're also in India, we just have such a heart for all over the world. I thought we need to do this on Easter Sunday. For $10, you can pledge and go, we do it on our debit card. We do 2 now. We're adding 5 more kids. We're like, we got to do more. So if you want to do it, you can. Next weekend, these will be on the chairs as well. And it's a great way to make sure kids are eating. And here's what's really cool. The families send their kids to school because they get fed. And it's one less meal they have to buy that day. The only reason the kids don't go to school in a lot of these places or some kind of education is because they have to work to be able to eat. So what a cool way to end poverty in a lot of systemic ways. They can get educated and do all that kind of stuff. So it changes everything around them. So if you want to help, you can. That's what's going on. With Easter coming up, we are facing the biggest attendance next weekend that church sees all year. And that's our church, any Christian church. Why? Because it is Resurrection Sunday. This is why the Christian church exists. Jesus went to the cross and died for our sins and paid the penalty for our sins, and he forgives us of our sins, but he rose from the grave. And if he didn't raise, then he isn't God. But if he did raise, he is God, and he did raise from the dead. He was seen by over 500 people. It is a fact, and people still know that. They call us a post-Christian culture, which we're very, just at the post of it. You go to Europe, it's past even further. But here, it's just past this whole post-Christian culture, meaning there's people who don't know who Jesus is, people that you work with. They don't know who Jesus is. But people in America still will go. Easter Sunday is the Sunday you go to church. So they would come. If you invite them, they would come. And more people need a personal invitation because they're looking for a place that wouldn't waste their time. And so they trust you. So when you invite them, they come. And you need to know that you can't just invite them once, right? If I'm hanging out with someone at work, and we do lunch a couple of times, and like you might, and they say they're golfers, and you say, hey, we should go golfing. They go, yeah, we should go golfing. You're going to ask them to play golf probably 5 to 10 times. Because you might ask them, they're going to go, oh, I'm busy, I can't go. Well, you just go, they're busy, they can't go. No, I can't go this weekend. Okay, you can't go this weekend. But you would just go, let's go again. And it'd be nothing for you to say 4 or 5 times, let's do it. Or someone might really love movies and you love movies. You go, we should catch a movie sometime. They say, yeah, let's catch a movie sometime. You'll ask them 5 or 6 times. You might say that about church, but when someone says no to church, you often say, they don't want to go to church. I don't want to be that guy. Anybody feel that way? I feel pressure. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be the guy that's hounding somebody, making him feel guilty or making him feel judged. I don't want to get canceled, and I don't want them to not like me. I want them to, think I'm a normal person. And I have all these buildups in my head of why I wouldn't keep inviting somebody to go to church or even talk about Jesus. People go, do this at a dinner party. Go, hey, what do you guys think about Jesus? Any of you do that? No, I wouldn't. What are you talking about, Matt? Like, there's things in us that get built up over time that make, like, the most important thing that is in our life. If you are a follower of Jesus, the most important thing in your life would be Jesus. Everything would revolve around Jesus. And it's like the most important thing can be put off to the side or, afraid to talk about. And really the most exciting thing in our life could be that, like, it's Jesus. And he can literally be kind of, well, I don't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable. And I want to talk about that today because there's reasons we feel uncomfortable, and I think there's reasons that other people feel uncomfortable, and we can kind of get over some of that stuff, and some of it we can't get over. We just have to realize it is a thing, and it's okay, and we're still called to share Jesus with other people. And we're encouraging you to do what we call the 3-1-1 prayer. And it's very simple. It's kind of gimmicky. Pick 3 people, write their names down, put them either like in your car, like stick a sticky note in your car dashboard, put it on your refrigerator, put it on your bathroom mirror, and then every day at 1 o'clock, pray for them for 1 minute. So 3 people, 1-1. And you could call it the 3-4-4 or the 3-6-6, whatever you want to do. And you could pray for them and then invite them to come to church. And then would you serve at church? Because when somebody comes here, what they need to have is a seamless experience where they go, that was really something I did not expect. That was, it was exciting. It made me feel good. Everything went really well. Our kids, they loved it. This is really, I think we should go back there. Let's go back and try that again. And when we serve, my mouth gets dry when I preach. When we serve, people have that experience. So you can serve in lots of ways, and we need you next weekend. We have 3 services next weekend, 8:30, 10, and 11:30. 8:30, not 9, 8:30, 10, and 11:30. So that's the service times, and we need some help, and we promise we won't put you in the lead role. If you want to help next week, we'll get a background check on you. Just give us a Connect card, say I want to help, and you can serve in guest services, where you can show people tours around the building. You can serve, I've got water, thank you very much. You can serve as a greeter. You can serve as an usher. You can serve in the back and help with sound and tech. You could be the water guy. No. You can work in kids ministry. There's lots of places you can serve, and it really helps so that people have a seamless experience. And you can see your friends come to Christ. We really can see our friends come to Christ. So, how do you get going in it? First of all, if we have any chance at leading a person to the Lord, we must genuinely like them and sacrificially love them. The idea of just saying, I love you, if they don't feel liked, they're not going to want to be around you. We've all had people that say, I love you, but they really don't want to be around you. Liking a person really matters. Genuinely like people. Now, if you're a Christian, and you've been a Christian for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, the longer you're a Christian, the fewer non-Christian friends you will have. Did you know that? Because we hang together, right? Like we go to church together, we do stuff together, and you get out of touch with people who are not Christians. And really, it shouldn't be that way. And a lot of times, people who became a Christian, like my family did, my dad was a big-time partier. Everyone in his life partied, like hard, really hard. And so when he became a Christian, he obviously doesn't want to be in that environment anymore because he's trying to overcome that environment. He's like, he doesn't want to be stuck there anymore. And so he got immersed in the church. And the longer he was in church, the longer these friends that we used to have, they're no longer our friends anymore. And it's weird as a kid because you're trying to figure that out as a kid. Like, how come we don't hang out with, Sean and Eric anymore? We used to camp with them every weekend. We never see them anymore. Well, there's a reason. And so we need to really make sure we're reaching out and being friends with people, even people who may do things that you go, I don't want to do anymore. I don't want to be a part of that anymore. I can't be a part of that anymore. You might go, well, how can I still be a friend to them? And that's what my mom and dad really worked hard at when I was a kid. And I saw that, how they would do that. They would still be friends with their old friends. And so it's important to really like people. Now, it's important on their end of this thing because people have a hard time trusting people. You notice that? Especially when you start talking about like God. You start talking about, church, and some people have had different stuff happen at church, or different Christians talk to them in different ways, or judge them, or make them feel less than, and they really have a hard time trusting. And people have a hard time trusting everybody. Like, for instance, this is trivial, but how many of you, when you walk into your favorite store, okay, like maybe you like to go to, like I love to go to the Foot Locker, so I love shoes. I'm a shoe guy, or any kind of shoe place. And I walk in, and what happens when you walk in the store? Hi. They no longer say, can I help you? Because that's just code for go away from me, right? So they don't say, can I help? They'll say, hi, how you doing today? Thanks for coming in. And you go, just looking. And you move around them like as far as you can. And you're looking around, and you're just like going, I don't want to talk to anybody right now because salespeople bug me. I just don't want to talk to them. Like, and if you're a salesperson, don't take that personally. You've been trained. So anyway, like, and you're in there for like 5-10 minutes, and you're looking at shoes, and you're holding them. You're like going, obviously, I'm interested in the shoe, and you went past the price. Yeah, okay, I might do that. It's on sale, okay. And then after a while, the people they'll turn and go, does anybody work here? Isn't that kind of funny? It's like, and you kind of feel that way, like, but what happened? They're truster. Somewhere, a salesperson was too pushy for them, and they don't want to deal with it, or they just have in their mind. Salespeople are, because car lot. Oh my goodness. And there's nothing wrong with people who sell cars. But probably if you've been in a car lot, you've had some good ones and you've had some bad ones. And so when you've had one bad one, you assume they're all bad. You assume they're all just trying to take you, and you want to just avoid them like crazy. And then even if you get one, because you have to have one to even go on a test drive, you're like going, I don't trust anything this person says. And then you're kind of at this adversarial relationship. I think that's where we're at as Christians right now. Everybody has had some bad experience with somebody who says they're a Christian. It could literally be just they went to the Mariners game last week, and the guy was on the bullhorn, on the big platform, out in the corner, and he's telling them everyone's going to go to hell if they don't turn to burn. And that was enough. That's what Christians are like. And you're not like that. It's so important that you can go through that barrier. And how you do it is by being their friend, for real. If you're being their friend to convert them, they know it. They feel like they're a sales, like you're going to get a commission somehow from God, which you don't. But the reality is, you are called by God. Like literally, as a follower of Jesus, what he says in Matthew 28, and I'm going to start towards the end of his, ministry time before he ascends to heaven, and then we'll go backwards. But in Matthew 28, it's the very last chapter of Matthew, Jesus came and told his disciples, I've been given all authority in heaven and on earth. Now, when your dad says, because I'm your dad and I said so, he just pulled the dad card, right? He's dad, or because I'm the teacher and that's the way you're going to write the paper. They just pulled the teacher card. Jesus pulls the Jesus card. All authority has been given to him in heaven and earth. It's all authority. He has all authority. Therefore, go and make disciples of all the nations, baptizing in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Teach these new disciples to obey all the commands I've given you, and be sure of this, I'm with you always, even to the end of the age. Now, they were not surprised by this. Because remember last week we talked about the way he called his disciples, the guys that were fishing. He said, hey, come follow me, and I will show you how to fish for people, right? So they went, we're going to follow him, and he's showing them how to fish for people. And remember how the ways of Jesus go with the laws of Jesus? So it's how does Jesus interact with people? And so Jesus says to the disciples after they followed him just for a very short time, go 2 by 2. Yeah, you two, go. You two, go. You two, go. And what you're going to do, you tell them the kingdom of God is near. And if they listen to you, great. If they don't, move on. But you're just going to go. And then they come back and they're asking Jesus all these questions because Jesus gives them an opportunity to go share. And then Jesus shows them more, and they have 72 people follow him. He sends them out 2 by 2. It's no surprise that Jesus would say, all authority in heaven and earth has been given to me. Therefore, go and make disciples. Now, what's really cool about that is he's not pulling I'm the boss, do it or else. He's saying, I've been given all authority. Now I'm giving you authority. I am commissioning you. And he's telling him the Holy Spirit's going to be with him, which we're going to talk about after Easter a ton. And he's saying, I'm also giving you authority to go share God's redemptive message that I have come for them. The kingdom of heaven is near. And he's going to anoint you and bless you to do that. Now, he doesn't say, and you're going to be popular. Everyone will like you. You're going to love this. It's going to be so easy for you. He actually prepares them because for some, it's easy. For others, it's not. Sometimes it's easy and sometimes it's not. But he prepares them. Like in John 15, he says, if the world hates you, remember that it hated me first. Now, I'm a guy who stands in front of people and talks. I like to be liked. I actually like being up here. I think this is really fun. And I like to be liked. I think everyone likes to be liked. Everyone. But Christians aren't so liked anymore, are they? We got to work really hard to be liked. He says, if they hate you, remember, they hated me first. He goes on, the world would love you as one of its own if you belong to it, but you're no longer part of the world. I chose you to come out of the world, so it hates you. Do you remember what I told you? A slave is no greater than the master. Since they persecuted me, naturally they'll persecute you. And if they had listened to me, they would listen to you. They will do all this to you because of me, for they have rejected the one who sent me. If you get rejected, one, take note of your tone and your body language. Okay? I have yet to find a way to address the LGBTQ issue because people will come and ask me about it all the time, and they want to know what the church's stance are and what my stance is and what my opinion is, what God's opinion. I have yet to be able, and I try every time to adjust it. It still is sinful, but God still loves everybody. And to share that with somebody is very difficult to do. So I adjust the way I think. What I'm saying is this. Don't think if you're getting hated, you're doing it right. But don't think if you're being hated, you're doing it wrong. You can always adjust your presentation. You can always adjust the way you say things. Make sure you're saying things the way Jesus would say them. Graciously, lovingly, but the truth. So, but also remember, if people don't like you, that he's already let you know that. That is a thing. If our biggest fear is not being liked, we're not going to do this thing. The greatest thing that you can do for God, I believe this with all my heart, is share his son with the world. Because for God so loved the world, he gave his one and only son. Jesus loved us so much, he left heaven, he left his divine privileges and became a person and then subjected himself to death on a cross. This is what it's all about. And for us to go, I'm just going to go to church and try not to cuss and be comfortable and make it about me, I think he's like going, you're missing it. I saved you because I love you. And I love everybody else too. Would you share with others what you've been given? That's what he wants more than anything. And sometimes we're not going to be liked for it. It's just the way it's going to be. Sometimes we're going to get the container tagged. If you guys didn't notice the tag back there, that's really beautiful on our container. And it was also broken into and ransacked. And we get, all kinds of stuff everywhere around here. Things happen around here. He says, look, in Matthew chapter 10, I'm sending you out as sheep among wolves. So be as shrewd as snakes and harmless as doves. Be aware, for you will be handed over to the courts and will be flogged with whips in the synagogues. You will stand trial before governors and kings because you're my followers, but this will be your opportunity to tell the rulers and other unbelievers about me. When you're arrested, don't worry about how to respond or what to say. God will give you the right words at the right time, for it is not you who will be speaking. It will be the Spirit of their Father speaking through you. Now, in our culture, we don't get arrested for sharing the message of Jesus. There are cultures that do. Those who are talking about the end times, be ready, because then we will. So the Christians that are up on the big soapboxes going, it's the end times and we're going to win and you're going to lose and you're going to hell and I'm going to heaven. they're missing what the end times is going to be like. It'll be a little rougher than we think. And we need to be able to handle it, whether we're just being hated on or even if we're being arrested for it. We should be prepared and willing to give up ourselves for others, just like he gave up himself for us. That would be the call of Jesus. Now, that's one of the obstacles we go over. Another one is that people don't like us. Liking people who don't approve of you or want you is not easy. Did you know that? To be kind to other people who are not kind to you is really, really hard. I mean, there's people where I've even said this, not since I was a pastor, but thought it more than once. Like, you know when someone just annoys you so much you just want to say, go to, and then you say it? It's like you're going to make, luckily none of us are God, because on a really bad day, we'd just be sending everybody there. Like, God loves everybody. He wants to save everybody, even people that drive us crazy. He really does. People who are really absolutely mean to you or rude to you, he wants you to love them. In Romans 12:9, we read I think we read 9 through 11 last week. I'm going to read on it a little bit more. Don't just pretend to love others, really love them. Hate what's wrong, hold tightly to what is good. Okay, hate what is wrong, hold tightly what is good. If I hate what is wrong, if someone's doing something that's harming them, which is sinful, right? Sin is what harms us. And I hate sin, and I love the person, I don't condemn the person because they're sinning. I hold on to what is good and tell them what's right with Jesus and how they can have a better life. And I hold tightly onto it. And I really love them. I keep loving them. I keep caring about them. Love each other with genuine affection and take delight in honoring each other. There's lots of stuff you can honor in other people because they find ways to honor you and you still struggle with sin. It's just different sin. And how can we honor and take delight and show genuine affection to other people? Never be lazy, but work hard and serve the Lord enthusiastically. That's one the Christian church in America needs to hear, because less than 20% of the Christian church in America serves at their church or anywhere. Church, for most of Christians, are a buffet line. And if I say anything they don't like, they're not coming back the next week. It'll be 1 week and they're gone. What if the church wanted to serve enthusiastically? Rejoice in our confident hope, be patient in trouble, and keep on praying. We are so impatient in trouble. We want to get rid of the pain as fast as we can. Keep on praying. When God's people are in need, be ready to help them. Always be eager to practice hospitality. Bless those who persecute you. Don't curse them. Pray that God will bless them. When's the last time you prayed for somebody who's been slandering you? That would be persecution in our culture. They have openly talked bad about you. And I know when someone does that and then someone comes up and goes, hey, someone said blah, blah, blah about you. Like, because they said blah, blah, blah about me, I want to tell them the whole, let me tell you the other story let me tell you about the other part of that thing. And then it's like, when did we just stop and say, God, would you bless them? You're supposed to pray that God would bless them. God, would you? And here's what's crazy is God does amazing stuff when you do that. Like, it takes a while, but he does the most amazing things with that. I will get calls sometimes from people that it's been years, and God reconciles the thing. And I think it's because I'm praying for them. God puts it on their heart. It's amazing what to do. Bless those who persecute you, don't curse them. Pray that God will bless them. Be happy with those who are happy, and weep with those who weep. People are going to be happy about all kinds of stuff. Maybe stuff that you think is foolish for them to be happy about. Be happy with those who are happy. Don't have to endorse it, but be happy. And weep with those who weep. People go, man, what do you do when you go to the hospital? I show up. And whatever is going on in the room, I'm in the room. If they're weeping, I weep. I weep. It's the hardest thing ever. You have to put yourself in that place. And it's really hard because like you let your heart get immersed in there, and then it's really like you're kind of, it really takes you to a different place. And that's really hard to do. Sometimes they're more up than you are. I've been around like people who are cancer patients who are like, that's the end of their life, and they're encouraging me, and I'm there to encourage them, and they are encouraging me. You just go. You just be there and be happy with those who are happy and weep with those who weep. Live in harmony with each other. Don't be too proud to enjoy the company of ordinary people, and don't think you know it all. Never pay back evil with more evil. Do things in such a way that everyone can see you're honorable. Do all that you can to live in peace with everyone. Can we go back to don't pretend that you know everything? I think that I know everything when I'm mad at you. Oh no, I know exactly what you meant. I know exactly what you said. I will repeat back to you what you said. I got it on recording. Let me show you what you said. And let me tell you the meaning, and let me tell you your motives behind it. I'm going to, don't think you know everything. Actually, really be inquisitive. What did you mean? Can you explain that to me? Can you help me? It's so important that we love people that you might not really want to be around. I'm named after a guy in the Bible named Matthew. And Matthew, he is invited by Jesus one day. Jesus was walking along with his disciples, and Matthew's at his tax collector booth. Now, tax collectors were Jewish people who collected taxes from the Jewish people for the Roman government. And the way they made their living was they could collect over what they owed, and they got to keep everything over. So they were pretty wealthy people. They were extorting money from their own people because they could. And Jesus says to Matthew, Matthew, follow me and be my disciple. Now, Matthew's so overwhelmed by this that really shortly after he says, hey, Jesus, I want to have a barbecue. Can the guys come and you come, and I'll get my other buddies together and we'll do a little mixer. By the way, that's brilliant. It's called a Matthew party. If you have friends that aren't Christians, get them together with your friends that are Christians. And tell your friends that are Christians, do not hound these people. Do not judge these people. We're going to play croquet and volleyball. Just play croquet and volleyball, okay? If they're having too much to drink, don't you have too much to drink, okay? Just relax. Have a good time with them, and let's show them the love of God by being real people with real people. Matthew does this. And the religious leaders, like this is in Matthew chapter 9, and I'm going to skip down to verse 11. But when the Pharisees saw this, they asked his disciples, why does your teacher eat with such scum? When Jesus heard this, he said, healthy people don't need a doctor, sick people do. What's Jesus saying? If you want to help somebody who's sick, you have to be in proximity to them to help them. You got to be around them. And a lot of Christians don't want to be around other people because of what the other Christian people say. Why would you eat with such scum? Why would you be around them? Because they're the very people Jesus loves. They're the very people Jesus, like people will go, well, if Jesus was here, he'd hang out in a bar. Not his whole life, he wouldn't. But would he go to a bar? Yes, he would. Would he hang there constantly? Probably not. He went all over the place. But everywhere he went, he liked people and he loved people. Even people that other people would say don't be around. People that may not want to be around you. People often do not soften up until they know that you're accepting, until they are accepted by you. They have to really feel like you accept them the way they are. And it's really hard to do sometimes because you just want to stop them. You just want to help them. Like in your heart, you want to help them, but that's not what they're looking for. Jesus is saying when he goes to Matthew's house, I love people who need me. I care about people who are doing things that are hurting themselves, even encouraging others to do the same things. I really care about them, and I want them to know that because their life can be changed. And I want you to know, some of the greatest people, the greatest evangelist people you'll ever meet are the people who've been forgiven the most. And the problem is those of us who don't think we've been forgiven a lot don't get it. If we need to be forgiven, we need to be forgiven. And it's not about the depth of our sin, because the sin is just sin. What if we love people who are really far from God, and we cared about them enough that we would actually be around them? I'll never forget, I was a junior high pastor at a really large church in Edmonds, and it was the first place I was ever a pastor. Now, it was really weird because no matter where I went, the church was big. People would know who I am. So I learned really fast. You better be careful what you say out here, because there's somebody from the church that's going to know who you are. And so it wasn't very long after this. We were at the Snohomish golf course, and a couple of my buddies that I was golfing with, they're not Christians, very colorful guys. And we're, young guys, and we're like beating on the golf carts and having a great time. And we run into some other guys that are also went to high school with. Well, they were already into their, beer a hole, and it's like the 9th or 10th hole. And so they're really getting colorful, and they're wrecking stuff, and they're loud, and the whole golf course can hear us, right? And so I'm going around, and I'm laughing, and I'm having fun. I'm not drinking, because I don't drink. I never have. But I'm out there with them, and I'm laughing and yucking it up, and balls are going all over the place, and golf carts are getting crashed, and all this stuff. And I thought to myself on Saturday, because that was a Friday, I thought, I bet somebody from the church I'm going to get busted. So on Sunday, I went up to the pastor. I was feeling so overwhelmed with guilt. I was just and I was supposed to read the psalm during the service. So they'd always have a couple of songs, and pastor would read a psalm, and then we'd pray, and then we'd go on the service. So that was my thing. And so I was on that Sunday, and I felt so overwhelmed. I said, Pastor, you know what? I don't think I should be doing this today. I don't even know if I should be a pastor. He's like, what is going on with you? What happened? I said, well, Friday I was at the golf course with my friends, and then we ran into some more friends, and then things got out of hand, and they were really loud, and lots of people were noticing, and some stuff might have got broken, and they were drinking really heavy, and I don't even know if I should do this. He goes, well, were you drinking? I said, no. He goes, well, were you doing? No, but I was there, guilty by association, And he goes, Matt, that's exactly why you should be doing this. If somebody tells me that you were there, then we'll have a conversation with them, because you weren't the instigator. You were just with them. You were just with them, right? He kind of wanted to, and yeah, I was. And he's like, I want you to keep hanging out with your friends, because they need Jesus. Your friends need Jesus. And I thought, wow. 3 months later, we're at my friend's bachelor party at this hotel, and they were bringing a stripper in. I left. That's not where you stay, okay? So you might go, hey, Jesus would stay. No, he wouldn't stay, okay? There's some things you just don't do. But they got to know you like them. And here's what you need to understand. People who are far from God act like people who are far from God. Unless you were raised a monk, don't be shocked that people act like they're far from God when they're far from God. Now, if your pastor is doing things that are really way out there, you might go, holy moly, Matt, I never thought we need to have a talk with the board, because you're not going to be a pastor anymore. That would be different. Act shocked then. But people who are far from God, don't be shocked when they act like they're far from God. And this is the hardest part for Christians, and it's the hardest part for parents. So if you're a parent, pay attention right now. Okay? We want to save people from pain. We know what the thing is. You know what a cliff is like. You go off a cliff, you fall. There's gravity. You're gonna hit whatever's down there. You're going down there. And you see the person, you see your child, you see a friend, and they're doing 90 miles an hour, and you're like, there's a 300-foot cliff. Hit the brakes now. If you don't hit the brakes, you're gonna go over the cliff. And you're thinking to yourself, I am the one. I am going to save them. And so you're raising these flags, and you're flashing lights, and you're trying to pull them over, and you're doing all this stuff, and you're telling them, you're going to go to hell. Don't do that. It's forever. Here's the deal. When somebody's doing something intentionally, why are they doing it? Because they think it's good. They think it's going to help them. They think this is going to give them pleasure. They think this is going to give them happiness. They think this is going to give them joy. They're not asking for your opinion. They're just doing what they're doing. In fact, they might even tell you why they're doing what they're doing and why it's okay and why it's good for them and it's not good for you. But, they might do all that kind of stuff. Don't be shocked. I have a friend who says this. Any advice you give a person that's unsolicited comes across as criticism. How many of you, when your parents said, don't do that, stop doing that, you're going to go to hell, went, oh, thanks, Dad. You sure got me there. You saved me. I was going to do something foolish, and Dad, you pointed that out, and now I'm good. Anybody? No, you ran away from your parents as fast as you could. You hit it. That's what they do with you too. If they're not asking, they're doing what they're doing because they want to do it. And what they do is they get in trouble. And then what a lot of Christians do is, well, you made your bed, so you better lie in it. Hope you enjoy hell. I want to give you an example of this. This was such a big moment for me. Caitlin, our middle daughter, she loves to hike. Now, it's hard to hike with Caitlin because she runs. She's a runner. She'll run the whole mountain. It's like, kid, I can't keep up with you. You're killing me. But she's super strong. And it was her birthday. And she goes, I want to do this hike. I heard about this hike. It's above concrete. I can't remember where it is. But it's like, it was switchback trails. Like the whole way. Is this thing straight up? It's like, she goes, it's really cool. You climb like 4,000 feet of elevation in like 3.5 miles. That sounds kind of straight up, babe. So yeah, it's going to be awesome, Dad. We're going. I'm like, okay, we're going. So we're going hiking, and we're going up this thing. And I had a cold all week, and I'm trying to keep up with Caitlin. And we're just going, and Tina's with us, and we're going up these switchbacks, and it's like higher and higher and higher. And it's like getting more and more altitude, and I'm tired, and I'm worn out. And I'm seeing this peak up there, and I know exactly what that kid's going to do. She's going to go to the top of that peak. There's nothing's going to stop her. But I want to show you a picture of the peak. Can we do a picture of just I think we have these in order. Martin and I tried to set this up earlier. But there's the peak. That's the peak. Let's go to the next picture. There's Caitlin. I am now on the side of the peak. I have not gotten to the back of the peak. You saw the front. And there's Caitlin doing her, woohoo! This was the best idea I've ever had. And I went, uh-oh. There's what it looks like on the other side. Now, I could have just said, that was stupid. How are you getting down? We don't have any ropes. No, I don't have a harness. No, you're not in any kind of climbing gear. Good luck on that one, babe. Way to go. That's what a lot of people do when they see a friend in trouble. Your friend has not realized they're in trouble yet. So what I did is I climbed up there with her, and we took some photos, and I said, great job, man. That's awesome, babe. It's so cool. And then I turned around and I went, whoa. How are we getting down? It wasn't how are you, it's how are we. I've done a lot of this. I've done that stupid thing many times. You ever climb something you shouldn't climb? Yeah. And I said, honey, it's always easier to climb up than it is to climb down. She goes, Dad, what are we going to do? That's when you insert. Dad, what are we going to do? I said, well, we're going to be very careful. Because if we misstep, it's a minimum of 50 to 100 feet. And it won't be pretty. So we're going to be really careful. And I'll go first. Because the person who knows the way should go first. There's not enough Christians climbing up with people and climbing down with them. There's just a lot of Christians telling them what's wrong with them and how stupid that was and how foolish and how hurtful and harmful it's going to be. And they need you. They need you. Those guys in the golf carts, all of them have called me and asked me about life. at different times. It's been 30 years since more than that, since high school. Oh, getting late. Okay. And here's the deal. They haven't all come to Christ. But when they're going through it, I just get up there with them. I'm not sure. Let's figure this one out together. Here's the deal. People will listen to you if you'll be with them. And just remember that whatever that thing is they're doing, they think it's going to help. They think it's a great idea. They think this is going to be so exhilarating and so fun, and so wait till we get up there. How do we get down? That's the hardest part. If you ever watch Everest, the guides are not concerned with getting people to the top. They're concerned with getting them down. Watch Everest Extreme. It's a fun show to watch. And so many people end up dying on the way down because they don't plan it right, and they overestimate. That's sin. We don't plan it right. We overestimate. We get in trouble, and then we get hurt. I really want to encourage you. Love your friends. Like them. Like people who are not Christians. Like Christians too, but like them. Here's the deal. This week, we might just be a little late, but we'll probably get some people that will want to come if you invite them because you're their friend. But what if all year we thought, you know, I really care about this person. They're not a bad person. They're not an evil person, just mixed up. They got some stuff going in their life, and I'm going to be with them. And you know what? You're not going to win all of them. You're not. But you have a lot better chance of them getting closer to Jesus if you will like them and you will love them, and don't worry about whether they like you or not. Just make sure your presentation is loving and caring. You can always adjust that. But love people. Care for them. I'm going to invite the band to come back out because I am through. And I want to encourage you to take actually the time this week and take a card, write down 3 names that live around here. You're going to be specific. Write down their names and then start praying for them. I also want to add to that a different list. People have a hard time forgiving other people. So I want you to try this. Write down the top 5 people who have offended you or hurt you the most. And just try this. Pray that God would bless them. Just because his word says to do it. Let God take care of everything else, but you just start praying, God, would you bless in their name? And I pray, God, that you touch their heart. I pray they get closer to you. I pray that you would do all that needs to happen in their life, and you would bless them. And I pray you'd help me to love them. If you want to get really deep in this one, you could say, God, and I give you my interpretation of all the events that have happened. Help me to see it from your perspective and theirs. And God, help me to love them. But God will do that. I believe we have the greatest church. You guys are the greatest people. Like, you get around, you guys, people every week will go, man, this is such a cool church. It's because it's you. I believe that your friends will fit in here. I believe that your family members, they'll fit in here. It is going to take time. It's going to take a lot of effort. It's going to take a lot of prayer. It's going to take a lot of love. But we will reach them.
Thank you so much for joining us today here at Life Church 360. We are so glad that you are part of our big community here. If you didn't know, we have a Connect card right here where you can just scan that or click on that button and we can get you connected with everything that is happening here at Life Church 360. Another great way to get connected with us is through giving. Giving helps us to continue our mission of helping all people build a life-giving relationship with Jesus. And so if you would like to give today, go ahead and scan that QR code or press that button. We'll see you next time.